Hi, I'm David Moquin. I'm a librarian here at the Fall River Public Library in the Children's Room. I'm here to talk a little bit about one of my many collections. Ever since I was a little boy, I've been a collector. My grandfather used to take me to Lafayette Park and buy me comic books, and that was my first collection. I had quite a few comic books. Then, when I turned 11, Star Wars came out, and that started my love of action figures. Once I hit my 20s, The Simpsons came out, and that started another collection of mine. I have everything you can imagine from The Simpsons. Later on, I fell in love with these pop vinyls. There's just something quirky about them. They're very comical, and I have quite a big collection. I'm proud and a little embarrassed to say I have close to 250 of these little figures. In 1998, Funko started making bobbleheads. They did very well with the bobbleheads, but then in 2010, they decided to start making these. At the San Diego Comic-Con, they introduced 4: Green Lantern, 2 versions of Batman, and Supergirl. They immediately took off. That was 10 years ago. They are up to 8,366 figures. So if you want to start a collection, I don't think you'll get all 8,000. There's everything you can imagine. They have all of the sports teams, movies, music, comic books, historical figures, and even through the pandemic, they have what is called the COVID-19 heroes. They have a nurse and a doctor with a mask to go along with the times. The reason I started collecting these two was before the pandemic, I used to go to the movies every week. Between the movies and dinner, we used to wander around the mall, and I always used to wind up at the toy vault, and 2 or 3 of these figures would come home with me. I just love them. I think they're hysterically funny. So in 2018, there was a documentary all about how the figures started out. It's called Making Fun, and it's all about Funko, how they started out with the bobbleheads and then turned over to the pop vinyls. And again, this is just a small part of my collection. So I love everything sci-fi, and then of course all of the comedians, the movie stars, the cartoons from now, which Rick and Morty, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and then the cartoons of old, which are the Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, and the Scooby-Doo. And then of course all of the superheroes, and Star Wars, of course. You know, can't leave Star Wars out. The pride of my collection are the Big Bang Theory guys. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. I don't think you can get these anymore. So what happens with Funko is they, just like Disney, they put things into a vault and they retire the figures. So you really can't get them anymore. Another one, Superman, was one of my all-time favorite comic books growing up. And so I do get all of the Superman pops as well. And then this one here comes from Ready Player One, which was a Spielberg movie based on one of my favorite books of the past 10 years or so. And then, of course, I had already mentioned my Simpsons obsession, so I do have all of the Simpsons as well. I get them from, like I said, from the toy vault normally, but we've also gone to flea markets, yard sales. I don't know if any of you would know who this guy is. This is John McClane, played by Bruce Willis. He's from the Die Hard movies. They also have a whole series of these as well. And then standing out here in front is Fredo from The Godfather. Again, like I said, it's anything, if you mention anything over the last few years, they've got pop vinyls. You can see one of my favorite directors here too, Alfred Hitchcock. And then the couple from La La Land, which is Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. So recently, too, they've started doing advertising icons, which the one I got here is Smokey the Bear. They also have the Kool-Aid Man, the Morton Salt Girl, again, anything you can imagine. They also have a lot of the breakfast cereals. You know, have the Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. They have Captain Crunch. Some are harder to find than others. And that's part of the fun, is going on a quest and, like I said, going to flea markets or yard sales and finding them. Whether they're in the box or, you know, loose, I can probably get a better deal when they're loose anyway. So they are really fun. They are affordable. They're not that expensive. Of course, if you get quite a few, that might run into a little bit of money. But I think they're a good investment, you know, somewhere down the road. Someone will make money off of my pop vinyls. In the meantime, I have a lot of fun tracking them down, trying to find them. Thank you for viewing my collection.